Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D-pad. I'm Rick. I'm like looking at myself, which is down this direction, which makes it look like I'm looking at the chat. But if I look at the chat, I'm looking here. And I decided to move the camera back because I wanted to be able to look into the camera pretty easily when I'm looking at chat. But now I'm realizing that when my eyes naturally go to myself to keep an eye on the shot, I look like I'm drifting away. But welcome to the October Spooktreon Hangout. It's probably going to be a bit low-key for today. We don't have a huge amount of stuff to talk about as far as like channel updates, and we will definitely have more come the end of November, and as well for like December and January. I think we're going to have like three pretty decent-sized hangouts back to back to back after this. So this is kind of the spooky third eye before the holiday storm. That's what I'm going with. Yeah. I don't know why I am blind today, but I like can barely read the chat there. That's fun. I'll make it a tiny bit bigger. There we go. But hello. No, actually, our Halloween plans have been kind of disintegrating out from underneath us. We're going to try to get a few people together. I think the original count was 6. It might have been 7. And we had a few people who were rightfully anxious about COVID and stuff, so they decided they weren't going to, and that's fine. Then we had God, what happened from there? Then we had 2 more who actually have other plans already. We have 2 more who I think also... we have one who wanted making plans with his family for the weekend because he's building his house, or he's continuing to build his house. I think at this point his house is a house. And then this wasn't like a D-pad-a-ween. I think like less than half of it was D-pad people. But yeah, so Halloween is probably going to be like a Discord party at this point, which is fitting for the year at this point, I'd say. Probably no Jackbox tonight. No, I think we're gonna be hanging on to that because we're getting close to 15,000 subscribers, and if we hit 15,000, we will absolutely be having ourselves a good old 15K bash, and there will be the brand new Jackbox Party Pack 7 as part of that celebration. That is my promise to you, that we will play some Jackbox 7 when we arrive at that. There we go. Yeah, so I've heard really, really good things about Party Pack 7. I'm actually very excited about it. It's been difficult not to break it out, actually. I want to come into it fresh. Jeff, he might hop online in a bit. I posted the link to everybody earlier like this morning. So I don't know if he saw it. I don't know. He's usually pretty good about checking Facebook, so he might drop in a little bit later. How do I do my hair? Oh my God, I am super flattered because I feel like my hair is like such a mess right now. I need to get it cut actually, but yeah, no, it's just shampoo. I don't even condition it unless I'm like, the only times I condition my hair is if I'm putting on like a suit or tux. That's kind of it. But yeah, thank you for the kind comment about my hair. I've been slowly feeling like it's just been getting to not long at, like, it's still pretty manageable right now, but another inch and it starts to become this just mop that I don't know what to do with because it just looks weird. It's like that length that nothing really looks right, and shorter looks fine, and honestly longer looks fine too, but once we're dangerously close to the point where it just looks strange no matter what I do with it. So actually that's not entirely true. I feel like any hair you can pretty much like slick back, basically, not like gel it up like crazy, but you can pull it back, comb it back, and it'll generally look fine. It'll look weird in some, like, you're not going to look normal hanging out at home with slick back hair, but other things would probably be fine for that. What was I going to say? I should keep an eye on the chat, actually. It's the easiest way to keep track of where things are here, and pull up my notes as well. Ding. There we go. We're actually looking forward at this point to getting Pokemon moving like in a big way. I think we have that last burst of, admittedly, it is kind of like annoyance with the staggered plot of Sword and Shield at this point, but we're kind of like, all right, if this is gonna be the plot, then let's do this. Let's get there. So we'll see where that goes. Plus, there's DLC and post game and all that stuff. So Sword. I keep wanting to say Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield will probably be with us for, a couple months still. But yeah, I started looking at Insurgent stuff again recently. I forget why. I think I saw the suzerain on Twitter posting something, and it got me like thinking about Insurgents again for the first time in forever. But we do have some holiday. We have some holiday series and specials in mind. I've actually got. I was smart. Usually, we're like already into December when I'm going, okay, shit, can I make some Christmas specials happen? Oh boy, I can probably make like 4 specials and then a bunch of regular episodes, and we'll just call them Christmas ones, and then like one of the 4 will happen. This time we've got a 2-month head start, and I've actually got like a list, like an actual list of like, here are some things that would make for great Christmas specials. Some of them have already even been recorded, and some of them are ones that would take very little effort to record. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how that goes. I've actually got more ideas on paper than videos that I want to actually do. All of these videos will at some point happen, but the idea that I'm running with, as opposed to how it's gone before, when I'm like, here are the exact set of videos, and then like half of them are like 11:38 p.m. Now it's like, all right, I've got more videos than I need. I can cut stuff and just go with a smaller list and be good. So, we'll start with that and we'll go from there. Let's see. Keeping up with the chat here. Fire Red and Leaf Green, I think, ended in 2015. I think it was the end of 2015 because we finished it. No, actually, we picked it up again in 2015, and it went into 2016 because we started doing that alongside, I want to say, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire after X and Y wrapped up. I think that's how that went. Because we did, so like the actual Rivals series generally went one after the other. We took, I think, a year off at one point. Then we did another, and then I think we took another like 6 months off, and then we did a Pikachu and Eevee, which has been more difficult because of everything that's going on, obviously. But May 2015. Okay, so I'm mixing up my. Oh, that makes sense because Interesting. All right, I thought that we were like racing to get that one done alongside X and Y, but Pokemon usually releases in November. Yeah, with Sword, I know we're like super close to actually being like through the like main story. From the sound of things, the post game isn't so much a post game. It's a post game in the sense that the main goal of the game of clear the Pokemon League is done, but it's a bit more of an actual continuation in like a Pokemon Black sort of way than a here is an extra chapter like Delta episode kind of way. I don't know that for a fact myself. That's just what it seemed like. Oh, it's more of a Delta episode thing. Okay, all right, fair enough then. So it's a pretty discreet post game. I mean, a Diamond Pearl remake. First of all, it wouldn't happen until next November at this, but they're pretty strict on making their releases in November, unless I don't even know. I want to say that Gold and Silver was like the last one, was like the only ones that didn't release in November or something. I think they released in like June or July. Yeah, Crown Tundra and the Isle of Armor are going to be done afterwards, but I think, whatever they want to do, they want to do. They released Isle of Armor first, so my guess would be that would be where we'd want to go first, and then go to Crown Tundra to close it out. But whatever they want to do piloting wise, will be how that goes. Whoops, what did I just tap on? Oh, there we go. Oh, Cutman's Jacuzzi. Are you Magician's Freeze? I didn't put 2 and 2 together there. Oh, and I see the bit that's further up. That's right. Oh God, I'm pointing the other way. There we go. I missed that part. I don't know how. It's actually surprisingly hard to keep up with the chat tonight. I don't know why. I feel like my eyes aren't working. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And then I woke up and within 4 minutes of being conscious had to drag garbage out in the snow because we forgot to bring out garbage last night and the trucks were showing up actively in the snow. Let's see. Isle of Armor played alongside the main game. That's what I had heard, that like Isle of Armor scales in a similar, like at a similar level, not even just pace, but a similar level to the overall game. So like it's going to start pretty painfully easy, but catch up by the end. Whereas Crown Tundra seems to be like, hey, what if you had a micro region that is functionally entirely full of legendary Pokemon, is my understanding of it. So, yeah, no, I was actually surprised. Ah, man, Cuphead was a great time. It's actually in the background right now, still exporting. Something is going on here because it's been exporting for almost 16 hours now, and it says it's got 6.5 left. When I first started exporting it, it said, oh, this will take about 8.5 hours. I went to bed, I got up, did some stuff like for the morning, and then around 6 hours into the export, I looked at it, and it had 8.5 hours left. And I was like, that's the same number that you had when I went to bed. It has now been almost 10 more hours, and the remaining time has dropped by 2. So that's fun. The VOD is 5.5 hours long, which... So the new setup that I've got, I need to get more RAM. That's actually the next thing on the list, is I need to get more RAM for this thing. But exports, I believe, are mostly driven by the GPU. And at this point, exports for 1080p 60 frame videos, the export takes less time than the length of the video to watch. Like if I watched it alongside it, it would be done before the video is over. So the fact that it's now 16 hours in, 3 times the length of it, is very interesting. I'm wondering if the film grain that the game has over it is causing it to spend a lot more time working on frame deltas than it would normally. So like Battle Network, for example, has generally pretty flat colors, like it's a Game Boy Advance palette. So you're either going to jump from one specific color to another specific color, or you're going to stay the same color, and the frame can go, whoops, skip over that, and it makes the video smaller. For this one, because of that film grain, basically every pixel is brand new on every single frame, or every 2 or 3 frames. So it's probably working way, way harder to produce each frame like this. So it's going to go up hopefully tomorrow night. It really depends. Like if this is still somehow exporting when I get up tomorrow, then there's a good chance that this will be a Sunday upload. My hope is that I can have it up tomorrow night, though. That's the other problem too. A 5.5 hour video is going to take, 4 or 5 hours to upload, and then another probably 3 up. Why did it? Oh. What is it white balancing on? Is it my hand? You guys saw that, right? Like it just like flickered. Oh, there it goes. Okay. There's too much skin on the screen. So it's like it's like white balancing on me. Let there be light. Take away the light. Oh, nope. Take away. Thank you. Yeah, well, I haven't exactly been outside much this year. Oh, man, everyone's going to be so pale. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. HLTB. Oh, the How Long to Beat is 10 hours. Hey, nice. So a little over half. Minus the issues at the start and the mic fall break in the middle. No, the 5.5 is actually after removing those, because the VOD with all that stuff in there is like 610, 615 or something like that. Actually, no, it was about like 6 hours and like 5 minutes, I think. So we knocked a bunch of that out. Oh, nice. So Birth by Sleep also has a bunch of misinformation. That's great. That's fantastic. Oh, boy. Man, if I had all of the time and energy in the world, I would literally just watch our old videos and correct wikis online, because nothing's more frustrating than going to find information and you put your faith that a thing is going to be accurate, and then it's totally not. And you're like, oh, well, now I'm just guessing. So that's always fun. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem for Kingdom Hearts. Is the final mix releases tend to be just different enough from like what they were basing it off of for things, and like it makes it tricky. Um, oh, whoops. Would you like me to compile the price of the cards that must be bought and list the sums so you know what to grind to? Yeah. I mean, if you have it in front of you, then sure. If it requires like a bunch more digging, I wouldn't worry too much about it because I tend to what I keep meaning to do, and what I should have been doing all along, and literally during Star Force 1, I thought like, oh, I should have done this before. Anytime I go into a shop while I'm editing, just jot down what's there because it'll be good to know if I go like, oh, I need Destroy Missile. There it is. It's back in Big Wave for 50,000 Zenny. But it's also nice to know, oh, there's an HP mem here that I will 100% forget because I generally don't shop in these games until it's time to do completion stuff. Because, like, it's sort of a bummer. Outside of HP mems, it feels like Battle Network, and even more so, at least so far, Star Force, the shops don't really sell anything, like, useful in like a short-term kind of way. Like you either need to have a ton of money saved up and buy a huge chip, or you're buying like I guess you could buy fodder for the chip trader if you were really desperate for a rare chip that you think you could do for less money, or is just gonna be a pain to grind for, and you're like, all right, give me the chip in the chip trader and we'll be there. So yeah, I don't know, it gets a little funky with that. So let's see. Oh man, the moment it opened. Honestly, you'd have a pretty goddamn easy time getting through the entire game if you could throw that in your favorites and then just be like, good, you know? Oh yeah, the search eye vendors. I know there is at least one more. I think generally speaking, in these games, any sub chips or sub cards are available to buy from at least two different vendors. The one that I always remembered for Search Eye was the one underground, but I don't know where the other one was. I don't remember off the top of my head where the other one would have been. But yeah. It's going to make life a lot easier when we can run from SP battles too. That'll be a good time. Let us jump into the list. I got my list. The list of stuff. It's going to be a good time. This was kind of a light week. I forget why. I forget why it was a light week. There was a reason. I don't remember. Do not remember. But it was a light week. We're hoping to fix that for this coming week, and we will hopefully be able to just be generally more stable for recording going through the end of the year. So let's see. I'll walk down the list. We got Girl Guest. Yeah, that was exactly why. I knew you'd figured it out. I knew that you would get there. The Wand of Gamelon. We've been taking it slow, kind of intentionally. We had recorded 6 episodes and then discovered that we were like flying through this game. Like all of a sudden, somewhere in the middle of 3 or 4, we just start booking it. Like we're busting through levels like they're nothing. And I don't think there's going to be enough time. If we did 5 a week, I don't think there was going to be enough time to get another game in before Hyrule Warriors comes out. So we're like, all right, spread them out, 3 a week. It'll offset from like Star Force, or it'll offset from like my streams. It'll make it easier to like figure that out. And we'll be done. We might have like a little gap between that and Hyrule Warriors. I'm not really sure. But we're not gonna be doing anything in between those. Like as soon as Gamelon is over, we're gonna pause and then we'll jump in with Hyrule Warriors like a week or 2 after that. Yeah, that's the thing. If we knew how well, so for one, this game doesn't have an item economy like Faces of Evil does. Without that, I think that game would have moved a lot faster because we definitely spent some time getting snowballs and then fireballs and then snowballs and then fireballs. Not to mention there were a lot of enemies that were only killable by snowballs, fireballs, bombs, Like there were a lot of very item specific things going on. So yeah, Face of Evil felt a lot more front loaded, whereas Zelda the Wand of Gamelon feels a little bit better paced. It seems like the challenge does ramp up slowly instead of just explode. Actually, no, I take that back. It started really strong. There was a lot of challenge immediately. And once we got over that hump, it got a lot easier. So it hasn't been too bad. Yeah, I think if we hadn't wound up, with the hiatus during Face of Evil, that we probably would have gotten through all of them before Hyrule Warriors, which would have been kind of nice, honestly, as like a clean break. And sort of, if anything, it's actually like the, like with, I mean, we kind of screwed ourselves with it, but similar to what happened with, I guess, Majora's Mask 3D, more so than Ocarina of Time 3D, because that one we were like, we're going to, we knew the Majora's Mask 3D was coming out, and we're like, oh, we'll play this, and the anniversary is in July, I think. I want to say, no, not July. The anniversary just happened. It was like October 27th, I'll say. 26th, October 26th, 1999. That was it. But in Japan, I think it was July 31st. And we're like, all right, so they'll probably release this on July 31st, 2015, I think the year was, because that'll be the anniversary of the game. And then they released it in like February while we were still in the middle of Ocarina, and we're just like, uh-oh. But yeah, it'll be nice to only pick up Zelda games once they're new again. No real news on Breath of the Wild 2. Obviously, whenever that comes out, we'll cover it. But I haven't heard anything new for it. I don't know if you guys have. But, oh my God. All I've heard about it is that they're still working on it. That's all I got. My mom's trying to call me. I'll have to call her back when we're out of here. Yes, so Zelda. There we go. Mega Man, the Mega Let's Play. We are coming down to the wire on Rosenkreuz Stilett. Man, that game is hard. Man, that game is hard. Wow. Boy, oh boy. Super boy, oh boys. I don't dislike the game. I think I enjoy it just fine. My biggest problem with it is that it's very... I don't want to say it's uninspired, because it's not. It does rely heavily on like anime, almost like harem kind of tropes of like character designs and stuff. I guess in characterization more than character designs. The designs are fine. But man, they really just ripped a bunch of shit directly from like Mega Man 2, Mega Man 4, Mega Man X, Mega Man 0. They really, 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 literally to the point of like, there are some screens that are like virtually pixel perfect the same. There's a bridge in the rain that you have to use the little flappy item in straight up the exact same way as you do in Mega Man 2. There's a spot that looks like a bit from a Lekman stage, I think. And I want to say I showed that off in the intro. And also just like the whole conceit. You've got Deviled Egg, the yellow devil ripoff. You've got Webmaster Spider, the boss spider ripoff. You've got Poltergeist, who's a ripoff of Pico Pico something, whatever that one was. What was the other castle boss? Oh, and then Demon Wall, which was literally just the Mecha Dragon. Man, I'm going to like change the light in front of me so it stops doing that. That's going to get really annoying very quickly. I'm going to go to red. I was doing like oh no, that's terrible. Whoa, too much. Hang on, we're almost there. There we go. That works. I was going for like a red thing for Halloween. I look super contrasty though. Whatever, that's fine. But yeah, and then yeah, for whatever reason, Count Zeppelin is literally Dracula from Castlevania in every way, I think. Design, battle format, everything. Yeah, and it's not the last thing that we have before we actually enter the like Mega Man Dead Zone, but we're very close. I Yeah, we have less than one hand's worth of games. I don't want to get any more specific than that, but we do have fewer than that before we enter the 2010 to 2018 dark ages of Mega Man. Yeah, the contact damage in Rosenkreuz Stilette is horrifying. It is crazy how much damage you take from touching anybody. Bosses, some enemies, you really take a ton of damage. It's gnarly. Let's see. You'd be surprised, actually. I was not expecting the stuff that we had in the pre-post game, if you will, to be as dense as it was. A lot of the stuff in the actual meat of this are going to be like more Rosenkreuz sized. Not a lot in the way of like fighting games and things. That there was a lot of that up front, but that's the densest we're going to get with fighting games for like this entire thing. They taper out from this part. Like going forward, we have way less of that in here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what we've got coming up for that. There's some good stuff in there. There's some fun shit. I think it'll be a good time. And yeah, my biggest concern, if anything, is that there's going to be people who are upset that we're not doing XYZ game, XYZ fan game, or inspired by a game. And I'm trying to be very selective with those. I'm probably going to get it slightly wrong. If I realize that I'm getting it slightly wrong, I may correct. But like the reason that we're doing, say, Rosenkreuz Stilette versus, I'm trying to think of like a good Mega Man example of one that we're not doing. Oh boy, shit. I haven't even played all that many Mega Man hacks, actually, so this isn't great. The Mega Man in the Mushroom Kingdom, for example, the reason that we're doing Rosenkreuz Stilette instead of that is that Rosenkreuz Stilette got a physical release, which is wild, is on Steam right now, which is crazy because that is so barely not copyright infringement. And it's just an interesting enough case, especially after the Cryon Conquest, which was another magical girl, in a sense, Mega Man clone. So it felt, what's the George Lucas thing? It's like poetry. It rhymes. So yeah, there will be some games that we get that people are like, why are you covering that? And I get that. And there will also be games that we're just not gonna cover. Like for example, I hate to do this because I'm sure there are people who, I don't know if there's anyone in here that was looking for it. But I'm actually gonna look it up to double check here. But I don't think, for example, that we're gonna be doing. Maybe we will do that one, actually. If that's an official release, maybe we will. And I don't know if it is now. All right, I'll put this to you guys, and unfortunately, I think we will have already screwed up the order of things. If so maybe I'll find somewhere else to put this. But let's see. Okay, I think I probably... I wish I had thought about this one before. I think I'd seen it and decided against it, but Mega Mari. Originally, I was not going to bother with that one, but I think my reasoning for that was I misunderstood it to be a just fan game kind of thing. But looking at it right now, it does look like it's like a legit by the Toho Project people game. So I think we probably will circle back to that. I don't know what the circumstances on that will be exactly. If anything, it would have been perfect to do like right before this. In fact, looking at our list, it straight up would have been the game immediately before Rosenkreuz Dillette. So who knows? Maybe I'll pull a quick mulligan and pull that in after Rosenkreuz before we jump into what's left there. It would still be less than one hand's worth of games before we get to 2010. So that is a quick clarification. When I said we had less than one hand of games, I did not mean we had 4 or 5. But yeah, so maybe we'll there's also, weirdly enough, one of the things that we're doing right before the official jump into the main post game for it, I struggled to figure out what release date to use because there are conflicting accounts and there are also multiple releases of it between like beta versions, official versions, and then official release, like full it's confusing. I'm sure I'll explain it when we actually get there, but we'll see. I don't know. But anyway, I'm looking forward to getting into the meat of the Mega Let's Play post game. In Pokemon Land, we kind of talked about this earlier, but Sword is getting very close to the end of the main game. Literally, like, we probably have 1 week's worth of videos, if that, to get us to the finale, at which point we then have post-game, Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra, and I mean, I guess that's it unless they pull a fast one and give us a third DLC, which maybe I'd be surprised if they did. They announced these 2 DLCs very, very early. So I feel like they would have said something about a third one by now. The only possible exception I could see is that they're waiting until November when they normally release new Pokemon games to announce it, but I'm not expecting it. I think we're only going to get the 2. And so I don't really know. Okay. Yeah, John is alive. John is alive. And we will indeed be getting a Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee started up again sometime in the next 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks. I don't know for sure, just because like this weekend is kind of all over the place anyway, and schedules are being figured out, and we're trying to figure out priority of things. But there will be Pikachu and Eevee again. And we, hilariously, as always, there was a big hiatus after beating Sabrina for me. John is on the 6th leg of his journey, so he has to head back to Saffron City. He's presumably going to want to go do Silphco. He's going to want to fight the Fighting Dojo, and then he's going to fight Sabrina. And then we will have our 6th face-off. And sometime between now and then, I will turn on Let's Go Eevee so I can remember what my Pokemon like team composition is. I want to say I'm up 3-2. I don't think I'm up 4-1. I'm pretty sure it's 3-2 right now. And which is great. If you are ever essentially if you are ahead by 1 at any point, you have an advantage going through the rest of the game. Just the way that the math works out. Because the way that we did it, the game is meant to assist whoever lost the previous match, so they have a chance to catch up. So if they catch up, then the other one gets a chance to catch up. So like the idea is to have it sort of have this natural alternation to it. And if you can break out of that and do better than that, then that would be that gives you a huge leg up. So anyway, Pikachu and Eevee coming back in the next couple of weeks. I can't say much more than that, not because it's a secret, but because we just don't know. But it will be beginning soon. Sonic Riders is also coming down to its end. We have recorded everything but the last episode, and that should be coming this week. This coming week will be the end of Sonic Riders. And then we're moving on to Ooh, hello. We're moving on to wilder, weirder fucking things. It's gonna be a journey from here on out for a while. There's gonna be some weird shit. Buckle your dicks, because we're gonna be on a ride. Oh boy. So I'm actually going to try my fucking damnedest to have my hands on Sonic 06 as little as possible. At least at the beginning. I'm sure at some point people will universally be just like, I can't do this anymore. Please just take this away from me. Which I get. That's kind of what my usual role tends to be when other folks are playing anyway. But I can tell you as a guarantee that there will be some I'm going to try to get everybody's hands on this controller at some point during the game, because everyone needs to know. And until you play the game, until you actually put your hands on the controller and control one of these hedgy boys, you just don't know. You just don't even realize it's so much worse than you imagine it to be. Like, the game is bad overall, but like the controls are like, wow. And the platforms have very large seams, so that's fun. And also just a lot of death spots, and the levels are long. Oh man, that's maybe going to be the hardest part. The levels are literally so large that we're going to have to make an executive decision as to whether or not to try to get like one episode, one level, or if we're just going to have it be piecemeal, just like whenever, like if we're in the middle of a level, we're just going to cut it and come back. I think that's what the Game Grumps actually did with theirs, was they were just like, fuck it, 12 minutes is up, we're out. But we will see. We'll see how it goes, because obviously some of these levels could be crazy long. I think literally the first level is like 10 plus minutes long. Oh boy, we're gonna be playing that game for a while. No lie, be ready for that game to last all the way until the Supersonic Let's Plays 5th birthday next June. Be ready for that, because I would not be in any way surprised if it lasted that long. I don't think it's necessarily going to last much longer than that. That depends more on if we have like weeks that are just gone from it. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, honestly, the game is long. Sonic 06 is a long ass game. It's legitimately very large. In fact, it bums me out that How Long to Beat is frequently very inaccurate. But according to How Long to Beat, the main story on there is 16 hours. So that would be approximately 64 episodes. I'm going to try to not have us blow through this game, because this is a game that needs to soak. You need to really experience this fucking thing. I'm not going to just like stand around going like, look at that thing over there. But we're going to really feel this game out. We're going to really get a sense there. I would not be surprised if this wound up being at least an 80 episode game, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. The one and only thing that this game has over Shadow the Hedgehog is that it is not anywhere, and honestly Sonic Heroes to an extent, it is not anywhere near as just blatantly repetitive. Not counting the weird mini games. The mini games are dumb and very repetitive, but like the main like chunk that is the actual game progression, those are all like separate and different and all of that, but we will see. Okay, so moving, whoops, not there, to there. We didn't do any Smash Brothers this week. We just didn't wind up having time. But Smash Brothers for 3DS is getting close to done. We probably have, I think we definitely have less than 2 weeks left on that. We probably have about 2 hours of playtime, maybe less. As far as unlockable things, like, we got to do classic mode a couple more times. But then after that, it's like, hey, go like do some more Smash Run and do some more versus battles. Get some trophies. Get some equipment. Smash 3DS, I like that it is a portable Smash game, but it is pretty gaunt in terms of like real meat, in my opinion. Whereas the Wii U version has a lot more like happening there. There's a lot more to actually do. So we'll be when we jump over to the Wii U version, I think that'll be a little bit more like I feel bad because I feel like our Let's Play of the 3DS one has been pretty dry, and I don't really entirely know what to do to improve that, because the goal that we've set unfortunately requires a lot of repetition, and it does require, like, you do have to get better to get these progressive like rewards and things. So it's not even like we can kind of dick around and just be like, oh, we just got to beat classic mode and do that thing and we're good. So it's a little bit rough. I don't know. But yeah, so the 3DS one, I mean, we're getting close to the end of it. Wii U, we are going to do similar to this. We're going to do at least everything once, and we're going to unlock everything there is to unlock. And we will, in fact, play until we beat Master Fortress this time around. We will not be abandoning that like we did last time. We got very close when we first played the Wii U version back in 2016, I think. No, 2014. 2014, I think. We got incredibly close. I remember, like, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if we actually made it out of the fortress part and back into the boss and then just immediately got killed or what, but the first I know that we did it at least once, but I think it might have been early on and we just got totally dicked over by it. But yeah, that's the biggest problem, is Master Fortress is akin to the bonus boss in Super Star Stacker, where you have to just go through the whole thing to get there. So I think what's going to wind up happening is whatever unlockables require classic mode or require that mode to play, we're just gonna crank that difficulty super high and just go for it. So we'll see. Yeah, you're telling me, Final Biscuit, the Legendary Let's Play, I was expecting, before they dumped 2 more games on us, I was expecting to be done before the end of the year. And now it's absolutely not happening. Hyrule Warriors is the first 2 of those were both beefy games. Like, we're going to be playing Hyrule Warriors probably through into February. Yeah, that'll be February, if not even maybe the very beginning of March. So I was not really anticipating that, and I'm not sad about it. And I actually like the fact that for once we're playing Hyrule Warriors without a deadline in mind, because the first time around, we were trying not to have Hyrule Warriors outlast the rest of the Legendary Let's Play. We were like, all right, we just got to like kind of get through this so that we can put it down in time with everything else. And then the Definitive Edition, I thought that, hey, since we know the game and since we're only doing this smaller section, we'll probably be able to get through this at least a little bit quicker. And then we couldn't, because those sections were much harder, and it took us almost exactly as much time. And it was like, we just got to end this thing so that we can put up the trailer for Terrible Fate. This time around, there is no deadline. It is, we can take our time, we can enjoy the game, we can play it through, we can try to like level stuff up and like really, get into it deep without feeling like we're just like under the gun trying to get it done in time. Because once that's over, it's like the fucking Mario slide to the finish. We are gonna rocket through what's left there. Not even on purpose. It'll just happen. But yeah, same goes for Kirby. The Kirby series, like, again, we got Smash Brothers. We got one more like full scope game, And then everything after that is a downloadable title or a game that we've already done stuff with. So, and all of those are going to be at least some level of faster. And we're just going to, again, kind of skate, not like skate through them, but like it'll be a brisker pace. And then we'll kind of abruptly be done. I'm still sort of holding out hope. There were rumors that there was going to be a Kirby 2021 announced at either E3 or the Tokyo Game Show this year. So I don't know how true any of that is. Kirby Warriors would be a great game. I'd be all about that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Kirby Star Warriors. There it is. Perfect. That's amazing. And yeah, I did notice that too earlier on, that Hyrule Warriors almost always, actually not even almost always, literally keeps showing up right as a section of the Legendary Let's Play is about to end. And we have one, it's the only thing, as far as I'm aware, that we have that we have some piece of it in all 3 of the segments of the Legendary Let's Play. So I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, so there's that. Pokemon is sort of in the same camp, though that's more just a matter of we have a lot of unfinished projects that are all kind of winding down. And then yeah, the Mega Let's Play is gonna outlast most of these. The only ones that I think will last longer than I guess when I say most, I mean the ones that we just talked about. It'll be longer than Zelda. It'll be longer than the current batch of Pokemon stuff. It'll be longer than Kirby, but Resident Evil will be longer than Mega Man. Sonic will definitely be. Sonic is probably going to be the thing that runs the longest out of all of this, and that includes Kingdom Hearts. I fully expect that Sonic, out of everything we're doing right now, as like an actual franchise play, I fully expect that Sonic will be the last one standing. That's my guess right now. And that does not include like, Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't count. Once we're done with the series, it's not like, oh, well, we're technically back in the like, yes, it is part of the Legendary Let's Play, but the Legendary Let's Play as we know it is over at that point, but we will see. Resident Evil, we finished Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil Code Veronica is up next. We are maybe going to record that this weekend. That might actually be in one more week before we jump into that. We had a couple weeks off from Resident Evil, but that'll be good to go. I believe CJ is piloting for that one, so that'll be good. I actually really enjoy being in the passenger seat for those because I like to like look around and just kind of take it all in. But if I'm in the moment in the game, I'm in like threat detect mode. I'm just like, okay, what is that? What is that? What is that? Pick that up. Shit. Drop it. Nope. Get this other thing. Oh God, someone's chasing me. So I can, I like to absorb a lot more when I'm not the one that's playing it. We have, Star Force. Star Force ends this weekend. We did it. We fucking did it. After, no lie, about, I want to say in total we did like 9 hours of overall like super end grinding and trying to grab Dragon Sky SP initially coming into the end of this. I think it was like 9 hours in total, but like I think people will be pleasantly surprised this weekend. I think people will have a good time with this weekend's videos, and I think on top of that you're going to hear it in Jeff's voice and mine, because while editing these, I can hear in my voice like, wow, I am straight depressed sitting on that couch for 3 hours at a time trying to get this thing done. But this last chunk, we were fucking ready to go. We were all about it at that point. So we were good to go. But yeah, so I'm excited. It's nice to be able, especially the Battle Network and Star Force games, it's really nice to be able to like take them and be like, boom, done, 100%, put it on the shelf, kablam. Like, and we are moving on, and we got some other stuff coming up, and then we'll be moving on to Star Force 2. Star Force 2, we're going to be doing Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker. That was the one that got chosen in the poll, which seems fitting. It's the one that's on both cartridges, so that seems fine. And because I then need to, if we got Saurian or Ninja, then it would be easy because it'd be like, well, it's on one cartridge. But Zerker is on both cartridges. So I did a clever thing, and I looked at, so the second place finisher on the poll will be the cartridge that we use, and that was Saurian. So we will be playing Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker on a Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker Cross Saurian or Zerker S Saurian X Saurian cartridge. So that's how that's going to go. It'll be interesting. I don't know if I've ever really had Mega Man be very electric focused before, so that'll be a fun change of pace. It is very Kingdom Heartsy of a title for sure. I am told that the post games for Star Force 2 and Star Force 3 are like on another level of difficult entirely. I don't know if they're more complicated, but I'm told that they are much harder. I don't know anything more than that, and that's mostly through like just osmosis of people talking about the games. So I don't have any like real details as to what makes them harder. But I have heard that they are harder. And if that's the case, then we're going to try to be a bit smarter about our tactics. And again, after we're done with the main game, it'll be like battle plan time. Like, all right, what do I need? What do I have to do? Where do I have to go? Are there new areas? Are there new bosses? Let's find the shortest path from point A to point B to point C to point D to point E. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's see. So that's Star Force. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is going well. We are, I think, recording wise anyway, we are nearing the end of Aqua's campaign. I think we're supposed to be somewhere around 2/3 in terms of where we are with our recording. We're around 2/3 of the way through Aqua's campaign, I think. I want to say the next thing that we're going to wind up doing is Neverland. I think Neverland is up next for us. We do. I mean, I guess it's a slight spoiler on episodes. We do wind up going back to clear out a few things. Sarah wanted to grab some treasures and stickers, so we went back to a couple of those places and cleared them out as best as we could. I think there were a couple that we had to leave behind because we weren't quite there. But we got virtually everything at this point. I think the only thing we haven't done, I take it back. I think we didn't go back to Disney Town yet. I think we specifically didn't feel like doing Disney Town again yet. But either we'll do that with this next session or we'll come back to that again after. But yeah, we're about 2/3 of the way through Aqua. So that's going pretty well. We probably have, from today, we probably have about 12 or so episodes with Aqua before we move to another storyline. Can you combine high jump commands to get a double jump? That is a good question. I don't know if the games have ever done a double jump, have they? They've done a lot of like floats and stuff like that, but I don't remember. Do they do double jumps? Now I'm like, wait a minute, hang on. Am I forgetting double jumps? I don't remember now. Part of me is honestly hoping that they lean into the weird shit from Kingdom Hearts 2 and just let you run, or 2 and 358 Days Over 2 and let you run up walls. I think that'd be amazing. Yeah, there's like a few of the things you can do in midair will give you a lot more lift. Like you can literally get some stickers by luring an enemy over, jumping, and then attacking them in the air and you just kind of float up. So that's a viable tactic there. But that's going well. I'm enjoying it a lot. I actually both feel like I'm getting more out of this story than I have since the first one. And the only reason why I'm saying that and not lumping 358 Days Over 2 in there, because I do think in the end 358 Days Over 2 does give you a pretty meaningful giant piece of plot, is that 358 Days Over 2 goes hard on the mystery right away and like weird shit, like you just don't know anything. Whereas this game is dropping a lot of like stuff that you've seen but didn't have context for very quickly. They're not fully explaining it, but you're getting pieces so you can start, drawing the lines between things and go, okay, so this is going to connect to that at some point. That's going to be that thing. And you kind of go from there. So that's kind of cool. I think it's also just like a good game. I wish they upped the graphics from the PSP version. Like they've upscaled the like resolution of the output, but like the models are all basically PSP one still, and there's all of that stuff going on. It looks fine, but it definitely feels like a step down from Kingdom Hearts 2, which is strange. But that's okay. But yeah, that's going well. Let's see. Ouya. The Ouya, we have a couple weeks more of those recorded out. That's going pretty well. At this point, we have less than a dozen left to record. Not to put out there, but to record. We have less than a dozen left to play. I did see the discussion in the Discord about someone putting up a server that you can actually like connect and like download some more Ouya games. I don't think we're gonna do that. One, because I know nothing about the limitations of that, and it could literally open the door for hundreds of games, and it's just a lot. I was actually kind of excited when I thought there were 53 of these before we realized the hard drive had like stowed a bunch away in a weird way. So I'm enjoying the Ouya Ono series in a big way, but I am kind of looking forward to taking a break from it. If this Ouya server thing turns out to be like a big deal and it's got a lot of good stuff on there, then like down the line, maybe we do some kind of revisit thing. But I would really want to know what the deal is, what's available. And like, I would want to know enough to be able to come up with like a concrete set of boundaries. I feel like that's really important for something like this. Like for the Ouya Ono, I could have downloaded literally hundreds of games the days before they shut it down, but I was like, I need to limit this in some way or we'll be playing these forever. So the decision I made was they had a category called Only on Ouya, and it was just the ones where at the time that the Ouya was shut down were Ouya exclusives. And I was like, all right, that seems like a perfectly reasonable thing. And in the end, there were less than 100 of them. So I was like, all right, that seems like something that we could do then. So that seems fine. But yeah, so it'll do. I do have a plan for that. I had a better plan fairly recently, but now I've got a different plan. But there is a plan for it. It will be, I can say, yes, I can say with certainty that it will be coming in 2021. Will happen at long last in 2021. And I can't get any more specific than that because I need to kind of figure out exactly what the new plan is going to be. It's probably going to be primarily reliant on when other series start winding down. So we will see. I can't really say anything more than that because I just don't know. I got to make new Ouya thumbnails every week, and some of those are literally me sitting in Photoshop with a screen grab of the title screen of the game and just erasing out, like tracing around it. And oh god, I've had thumbnails for Ouya. These are fairly uniform thumbnails. I've had a few that have straight up taken an hour or two for one thumbnail. It's like, all right, throw on like a Red Letter Media video and just go nuts for a while. It's also a reason I'm kind of looking forward for Smash 3DS to be over, because editing that is a bitch. I've got a couple like rhythms down as far as like how to set up the screen and like how to utilize the bottom screen in a way where we're maximizing the video space and getting all the information in there and all of that, which is great. But man, every video takes like minimum an hour to get through, just from all the like screen editing stuff that I have to do. So it's just like, it's a pain, but it's still a fun game. I've certainly done more for less, so I can't complain too much. I think that is it as far as we didn't talk about Twitch stuff at all. I some of these I know less about than others, but multiplayer thing, I still don't think Jeff has an official name for this thing yet. We've gone at various points with like multiplayer Sundays, social antisocial time, etc. I don't know if it has like an actual official name, but the moment it does, there'll be a playlist for all of them and maybe some updated thumbnails. But yeah, this past week we did Among Us. We did a 10-man game, well, many games. I think we did 11 overall of Among Us, and it was a really good time. I was only the imposter once, very early, and I was not good at it because I was still playing with mouse controls. Pro tip: do not play with mouse controls. Play mouse and keyboard. Holy shit. Nothing's worse than awkwardly using your mouse to click and run up next to somebody and then try to click the kill button without making them run away and accidentally opening up your map and then go, shit, close that shit, they're running away. All right, chase them, kill, map, fuck. So, yeah. There will, at some point in the next couple of weeks, be more Among Us. I think Jeff is trying to pull one off for this week, but I don't know that there's enough people for it right now. So they might do Barotrauma this week and then swing back to Among Us the week after. I think you can click and hold for movement. I mean, you can, but honestly, keyboard up, down, left, right is just so much easier. Actually, I didn't even try to see if WASD works. I get the feeling WASD works fine too. But yeah, mouse and keyboard is the way to go with Among Us, in my opinion anyway. And it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. Yeah, we'll invite, let's see, who's not up to much right now. We'll invite, I'm trying to think of like some like C-level Congress people, and I'm blanking on all of them. Oh, I gotta sneeze though. Excuse me, my goodness. But anyway, yeah, clearly that's what we gotta do. We gotta. I actually was debating trying to set up an Among Us stream with a couple other channels, just because why not? Especially since, one, everybody can like record and stream their own if they so desire, and two, something that I wanted to try doing with one of these Among Us streams. I don't know how viable it is, but I would really love to have. Maybe it's not done as a stream. Maybe it's done as a pre-recorded thing. But everybody plays and records on their own side, and then I get 10 versions of the game that I can then sync up, put into place, and essentially just cut between for whatever the maximum hilarity version of this would be. I think it's interesting, right? Because I feel like it would feel like a supercut, but not really be one. It would still be like a one-to-one mapping of the game. It would probably be a huge pain in the ass to edit. It would probably be actually harder to edit than the Eye of Argon was, which famously took a long time to edit. Mostly because although that was more technical, that was more because I was doing text overlays, which took an incredibly long time to make, and oh boy, I got convinced. John convinced me to do this mic setup that was just not the answer, and that made it a lot harder to make anything reasonable sound-wise out of. Future table readings will be done like this. Everybody has a microphone of their own. It'll be like our movie nights at the round table in that regard. So yeah, we will make sure that everybody has their own, either one of these or a lav mic. We have a couple lav mics too. We haven't practiced with those a ton though, so I don't want to like dive in on like a big thing, especially when reactions are really important. Okay, so that was multiplayer stuff. Mondays, I think John is starting to approach the end of Trials of Mana. He hasn't done one for the last 2 weeks because he's had terrible internet, but I think he'll be able to start up again this week. I don't really have anything else to say on that one. I don't know anything about Trials of Mana, so I don't have any frame of reference there. Namco Cross Capcom, I didn't do one this week because something went wrong stomach-wise. It might have been food poisoning. It might have been just very unfortunate timing, but it was like I ate, and about half an hour to an hour after that, it was like just a bowling ball full of knives was in my stomach, and I was like, oh no, this is bad. Tried to wait it out, didn't really take, so we canceled the stream, and I'm not streaming this Tuesday for reasons. But we're about a third or so of the way through that. No, we're actually getting close to. We're almost halfway through the missions, at least, of Namco Cross Capcom. I forget what I think the last chapter we did was 16? 16 or 17? I don't remember off the top of my head. But which is about, I guess, more like 40% of the way through. But we probably have another... Oh boy, we are going to be at that for a while, actually. We probably have another 15 to 18 streams of that before we are out. So I hope you like Namco Cross Capcom. Hey. Let's see. Divinity Original Sin 2. Again, I don't really know a ton about this one, so I have no idea how the progress on that is going. But it's going. That is all I have to say about that. I know literally nothing about that one at all, so I wouldn't even I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Thursday, so we did Cuphead. Not this coming week, but so it's Friday, so not next week, but the week after, the 12th, I will be playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which was our runner-up in our Twitter-ish based poll. And I might stick at least with the stuff that comes off of Twitter. I might stick with the shorter indier kind of games until the end of the year, just because as we get closer to the end of the year, I'm going to have, like, Thursday just isn't a great night for these holidays, because Thanksgiving obviously is a Thursday, Christmas Eve is a Thursday, and New Year's Eve is a Thursday, so both of those are going to be gone too. But this coming Thursday, the one that's coming on the 5th, that is to be determined. I believe, everybody who is part of our Patreon, patreon.com/dpadfm, for anyone watching this after the fact, there is a thread up with a link to a poll that lets you vote for as many, in ranked order, games as you would like to see me stream. And we have some interesting results on that so far. I'm not going to say anything like, what's winning or anything. There's just interesting stuff that's in there. There's an interesting spread so far. It's doubly interesting because we've got a decent number of votes so far, and there's a handful of games that have no votes. In fact, most of these games have no votes, which is very surprising to me. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. I'm a liar. I need to fix my code. Ooh, I definitely need to fix my code. Whoops. Somehow my results code has all of the games that are in my games database that are included in there, and the reason I got confused is because Bug Fables is one that's in the list and was also in the Twitter-based list, and I saw that up top, and I was like, oh, okay, Ori and the Blind Forest also, and then a bunch at the bottom. So never mind. Every game has received votes. So I lied. I was misinformed by my own machine. So every game has received votes. There are a few that have not received any number one votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them have not received any number one votes. And yeah, that's all I can really say about it right now. There's an interesting, fairly wide spread of those first place votes, which on the one hand means there's it's harder to tell where everybody really feels, but also it means that individual votes have a much larger effect on the whole thing from there. So we'll see. Genshin Impact actually is doing okay. It's among the lower voted ones so far. It's not at the bottom, but it's relatively low. But I don't want to get into like, oh, here's this game. We'll talk more about that. I don't know, sometime early next week. It's going to depend. If there's a game that I have to buy a physical copy of, then I'm going to have to like plan for that. So like maybe Monday, I'll have like the official announcement. We'll talk about that stuff. But yeah, so that's going well. Don't know specifically when, because Fridays are equally kind of messy right now, but at some point XCOM 2 may very well return. We'll see. More importantly than all of these Twitch streams, however, is that next weekend, Friday at midnight, so 1 week, 2 hours, and 24 minutes from the time that I'm saying these words, we will be having our third annual Extra Life marathon stream. I'm very congested. I apologize. I kind of dulled down the announcement there. For anybody who hasn't heard about this yet, we've talked about it a couple times now, but we are going to be doing a 24-hour game of Dokapon Kingdom. We have 4 players ready to go. We're going to be very tired by the end of this because we all have to be kind of in it for 24 hours. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We got some fun incentives, some fun, pretty different ones, and ones that apply to the game really well. We're working on a few more details for it. I have to get going on like overlays and things, and I think I'm going to see if we can get some like animations and sounds and things situated for donations that come in. Actually, donations go through Extra Life directly, so I don't know if we'll have access to that in like a meaningful sort of way. So maybe we won't have animations and sounds, but we'll see. The start time on the Extra Life stream will be 12 midnight. It'll be midnight, 12 o'clock Eastern time, which will be 5 o'clock GMT, 5 a.m. GMT, I think. Yeah, it'll be 5 o'clock GMT. So whatever that means for you next week, that's what that'll be. There'll be 4 players. It's a 4-player game. It's an up to 4-player game. You can definitely do it with 2, 3, and 4. I forget if you can do it with 1. I don't think you can do it with 1, but you can do it with 4. If you are unfamiliar, the best way I can describe it is a Monopoly RPG where you play rock, paper, scissors to battle. I think that actually kind of sums it up. A hint of risk to it as well, just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. So yeah, it's an interesting game. I'm a big fan of it. I've been playing it since college, so I'm very down for it. Sarah and our 4th have obsessively played this game for years, so that'll be a big thing. And then our 4th player, well, not our 4th player, our 3rd player, our 2nd player, Jeff has never played the game, so this will be a wide variety of stuff going on. Thankfully, the game does have some rubber banding mechanisms kind of built into it, so that way people don't just get completely fucked. Especially because, like, if you are skilled at the game, you can really run away with it without these in there. So, probably, there will very probably be Ben for varying amounts of time there, and there might be other people as well. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. I think it's gonna be a really good time. And I've already kind of started jotting down notes for other potential marathon streams for next year. There won't be any more for this year. That'll be the last one. The holidays make it basically impossible, and we also need some time in between these to like recuperate. But Dokapon Kingdom, November, what is that, the 6th? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. November 6th at midnight that night. There will be donation incentives. We don't have, well, okay. The incentives are non-physical rewards, mostly due to our pretty poor track record with those thus far. However, if people would like, then we can revive ye oldie. In fact, I meant to pull up the text file where, whoa, that's blinding me. Oh my God, pull that away. The old chocolate list. I literally pulled that back together again because we need to make good on that, and there will be some extra goodies in there to make up for a lot of lost time and interest. So, yeah. Hopefully people will enjoy these, and they will be tasty, and people will like them. There will probably be 2 separate like sets of orders that get shipped out. The first ones will probably be the actual like basic candy, chocolate bar kind of stuff, and then the N64 controllers will go out after that because we need to like test this setup a couple times to be like really sure we're good. And once we've got like the basic thing set up, Sarah wants to go a little further with it and do some like cool color stuff with it. So there may be, for folks who got an N64 controller, there may be some extra questions coming your way for further customization of your tasty chocolate treat. So I don't know at what point this coming week it'll be brought up, but essentially the idea is if people want the chocolate incentives to come back for this, we can very easily add those in and add to the tally. However, we haven't like, it's not like we have to plan for it because it's not like it's something that has to happen during the stream. But basically we entirely understand if people are like, I'm good actually on that. Thank you. So either way, if anything, I think we'll probably just make the offer to folks regardless, and then we'll go from there. So we'll see about that. I feel really bad about that. That's like not even like percentage. That's entirely on me for like not getting this shit on its feet. It's just like I wish Extra Life had a slightly easier way of like reaching out to people long term. I think that was kind of one of the tricky bits. But regardless, we have I think we have everybody's stuff on here. I may send out one more email as confirmation to everybody just to like verify. And like, you know, like, all right, so do I have the right address? Do we have the right like list of stuff? And if people do want to do that as part of the this stream, then I'll probably wait until after that, like, you know, that Sunday or that Monday to send those emails so that we can add all that stuff together. So we're not doing like 2 separate sets of those. But I'm looking forward to Dokapon Kingdom. I think it's going to be a really good time. I hope you guys have a really good time with it. That is everything that I've got as far as list stuff. I feel like I dragged that on for a real long time. Didn't mean to. Do people have like questions, like Q&A stuff? I'm happy to answer some questions and things. Titan AE is coming fairly soon. I still am sort of struggling with the we tried to record the chat and our mechanism for doing that just did not work. And essentially I have to like go through and look at the timestamps of every single comment and figure out where that applies and go from there. I would have to check. I don't know if Sarah got dressed up yet. She might have gotten dressed up by now, but I don't think she got dressed up yet today. I don't know. It was a very snowy day. I'm trying to remember what her list of stuff was because she had one more. Oh, she wanted to do like a rainbowy thing today. And I don't know if that happened. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. That might be a tomorrow thing instead. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to sniffle directly into the mic, but my nose is all of a sudden just like, that's not great. You have any other questions and things? Have you decided what we're playing second for Birth by Sleep? No, not yet. I don't even know how we're doing it necessarily between if Sarah's going to go through the whole game, and if that's the case, then she will just choose at will there, or if it's going to get passed, if the control is going to get passed, that could determine it as well. My guess, based on us talking about it recently, is that it's probably going to go in the order Aqua, Terra, Ventus at this point. I think that's how it's probably going to go. Yeah, I think that's more than likely what is probably going to be the ending for that. So yeah. Let's see. No comment. Alksprit. There's some. I can't really get into that at the moment. Let's leave it at that. Let's see. Did that one. Hang out for another minute or two. And go from there. It's entirely missed with a couple foamy droplets there. A week and change of Thrasy to get through. I mean, you probably could at least start it. I would think. Yeah, I think if you've got like a week's worth of stuff, then you'll have time to start it. Excuse me. I don't know. Palace of the Four Sword and Tetris Trackers are probably not going to get covered, only because they're like very, very small pieces of other games. Someone asked about that recently about Tetris Trackers, if we were going to play the Japanese version of Four Swords Adventures to get that. And the answer for both of those is probably no, just because they aren't really games in their own right. They're sort of, little extra bits and pieces of stuff. And for both of those, for Tetris Trackers, it's not. The problem with Tetris Trackers is we would have to set up our 4 GameCube thing again. And for the Palace of the Four Sword, we would have to like play through the Four Swords and the Link to the Past stuff that's on the Game Boy Advance cartridge and set that up for 4 people, I think. I guess you do it with 1, but I don't think we'll be doing that. I'm sorry that I'm so congested right now and I'm like trying to hold it in here. I don't know for sure. I think we will probably try to get back to Trial of the Sword. And do something with that, but I don't know exactly how that's going to go. And yeah, no, I remember playing through Palace of the Four Sword before. It's very mean in terms of the boss, in my opinion, but that's the thing, is like it's just extra enough in terms of material that it doesn't quite feel like something that we like need to like have an entire other playthrough off camera to get at. But who knows? Down the line, if they ever do some kind of wacky, oh, damn it! My mom texted me. My nephew wanted to FaceTime with me, and it was like his bedtime, like literally right after that. Oh, damn it! That's a bummer. I'll have to call him tomorrow. Yeah, I think that might be the plan, honestly, is to do the Trial of the Sword as kind of like a precursor to Breath of the Wild 2. But we will see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. For a bunch of people that really want the Legendary Let's Play to finally be over, everybody's asking if we're going to do these other extra things for Zelda games. I'm just saying. Oh man, I got some interesting stuff planned for the end of this year and going into next year. We'll see. So the other reason I was kind of hoping for Zelda to wrap up and for Kirby to be a little further along by now is I've got some stuff in mind for next year, and I really want to like hit the ground running with that stuff. And it's going to be a little dense to start, but we'll see how it goes. Probably not. There's a lot of Zelda-likes out there that I don't really have a huge interest in playing, just because, as it turns out, most people that try to do Zelda can't do Zelda. So, There's a small risk that there's some like 10th anniversary shenanigans before Zelda's over. There's at least one thing that will happen before Zelda's over, but I don't know. Our 10th anniversary is April. Well, every year I feel like I go through this whole song and dance thing again. We sort of have our two birthdays, one in April, one in June. And we will have some kind of event for both of those. That's still kind of being worked out, but we'll have some things going. I feel so congested. Oh my God. Throw in German. Oh God. Man. I'm curious to see what you guys think of what's going to be going on over the next handful of months. Like the next 6 months of stuff is going to be very interesting, I think. In terms of content, in terms of changes on the channel, in terms of a lot of stuff, honestly. So I guess we'll see. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here as we're about an hour and a half in. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. If anyone watching this after the fact wants to hang out, you can head to patreon.com/gpadfm to find out how. Also, there's going to be a thread coming up in the next week or two asking for thoughts on incentives for Patreon, because I think we're way past due to kind of reevaluate some of that and like figure out what people like really want, what people want to put their money towards, what they want to get in return for their money, and so on. So there will probably be some kind of feedback level sort of thing in the next week or two, because I want to set that up before the end of the year so that by 2021 we just dive right in. We got our new setup for those. So I want to get on that. Likewise, by the time we come back for November, there may be some merch. Maybe. Probably. We're trying to figure some stuff out for that. We're getting a few things situated, so to speak, and we will maybe have some official D-pad merch and like hopefully have it live at a semi-permanent home that isn't going to take us down for weird copyright stuff out of nowhere and without an appeal process. So that'll be fun. So we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you very, very much for hanging out. The next one of these is probably going to be Friday, November 27th. That's the one I'm setting it for. But there's a low chance that depending on how Thanksgiving is looking for things, that it might be the Friday going into that on the 20th. So we'll see. Don't really know. I think it's going to be the 27th. If something seems like it's going to change, I'll let you guys know. I'm going to go blow my nose. I will catch you guys later. Bye.